Welcome back, everybody. It's Great White Northerner here, and as you can see, we've got a couple boxes of quarters here. Now, this is going to be a continuation of the book filler series, so as you can see, I do have my book out here, and we are looking for as many of the, or trying to get all of the commemorative quarters that we can. So we've got a good number already. This is video number 3. So if you haven't watched the first couple, please go back. I will put a link up so that you can go back and take a look at some of the earlier videos and see what we're looking for and how we found what we've got so far. So the goal here is to try and complete all 92 commemorative quarters since 1967 that have come out here in Canada, and we are down to just needing 8. So there's 4 on this page, and there are 4 on the second page that I'm looking for. So we did get a really, these ones are a little more difficult to get, and the 2017 colored quarters, but the Canadian flag is a tough one as well. So is the Sydney Klassen Olympic. There's only about 3 million of those that were made. Legendary Nature, the green bison one should be relatively easy to find, but haven't found it yet. And then the women's Olympic hockey colored is also a little bit more difficult to find. So that one will be tough. And of course, the 1967 silver, not, well, silver in itself is tough to find. And then, of course, to find the 67 specifically will be a challenge. But it is one of the more common silver ones that we run into. So, and then, of course, missing a few from the original 1992 province series. So I got to find 3 of those. And then I'm going to try and upgrade as I go as well. There's a lot of them in here that are pretty rough looking, so I do want to try and improve the collection as we go. So this is a battle that I'm having with Emmanuel's Workbench, so please go check out his channel. I will be throwing that up on there as well. We're trying to see who can find the complete set first, but ultimately we're just trying to see how many boxes it's going to take to actually make a complete set of these quarters. We've been doing time lapses. I am going to switch to going back to kind of my more normal searching routine, and I'll just bring you in as I find stuff. There's only 8 that we're specifically looking for. I'll bring you in on any interesting pieces that I find as well. And of course, I want to take a bit more time so that I can go through and look for, kind of better quality ones to replace these. So we're going to switch it up. Now, we got 2 boxes. I went to 2 different banks to get these, and I'm not really happy with either one of them, to be honest. So I've decided that this is going to be the one that we're going to search. So I've already marked it as box number 3. It has some issues. They're all pretty much the same rollers in them. There are a few different ones, but they're all kind of really poorly folded up here. So it's obviously been done by the same person rolling these up. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it was another coin roll hunter. There's no markings on any of these. I have checked. So they're not marked with anything that would indicate that they have been searched before, but I have my doubts, and I am kind of worried that this might be a pre-search box. And even worse is this one, which is very obviously some machine wrapped rolls. 3/5 of the box is machine wrapped, and you can see, so this is what machine wrapped end should look like from the machine. But then all the other ends, it's obvious that these have been opened and then kind of re-rolled and repacked. So I think there's a decent chance that at least these ones are repacks, and probably from another coin roll hunter. There is a mix of some other stuff in here, so maybe there's some other stuff. But this one I think I'll probably do on my own. I don't know if I'll even bother to try and make a video out of it. But I just kind of wanted to show you stuff to watch for. My guess, this has probably been searched already. They're not marked. That's usually a good indicator as well, but just so you know when you're looking, stuff like that, it's probably a good indicator that somebody's already gone through these. But so we're going to go through this one. I think this is the better box of the 2, and as soon as I have a choice, that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to move on. I will bring you in as I find stuff. I'll start in the corner, work my way across as I usually do, and I'll let you know what we find. All right, let's get to it.
Have a good time, live a good life. What you mean when you say you are new, hey? What you mean when you play like all night? Nightlife is a highlight. I'm a fly guy, this is skyline. I don't got the time for my problems. I got the time to dissolve them. Music is my oxygen, I'm breathing, no stopping. Human but my oxygen, the music when it's dropping. Something about these vibes provided in these lines. I'm trying to design the rhyme, checking my mind. Music be described, I got ahead of my time. Beat be prescribed, cause I feed it full of lines. Money ain't nothing, you turn it into something. I'm standing for the money, make you look real funny. Put my own name in discussion, I'm a hustler. Work real hard to show you that I'm coming, So let me tell you that it's going on.
All right, roll 9, and we've got a find here. It's not one that we need, but certainly one that I'm going to keep. It is a 2017, colored quarter, And yeah, these are pretty hard to find, even though they're relatively new. It's always nice to find these. It's in decent shape, so I'm going to keep that. It's not one that we need. We do have one already, although I will compare it to, whoops, get over to the right spot here. I will compare it to see whether it improves on that one. And I have set aside a couple here. I'm pretty sure the Laura Secord is going to improve the one we have, because there was a lot of issues with those ones. I didn't look at them that closely. And these ones are a little bit nicer. So I just set them aside, a couple US up there. But yeah, got a find, just not for the book. All right, on to the next. Roll 29, and we have another find. Nothing too exciting, but it is the kind of harder to find, or supposedly it's supposed to be harder to find, New Brunswick Province series. And it's actually in decent shape, so I will check it against the one I have. But I will be keeping that one anyway, so that's why I brought you in. And then, as you can see, I'm slowly collecting a little bit more here, so we'll go through those after. Very next roll, and I just dumped this out, and we can see we've got something here. It looks like it is the 2010 Double Poppy, which we already have, again, in our book, but it's in really nice shape, so that might even be an upgrade, and I'd be hanging on to that one anyway, so I'll set that on up with the rest and bring you back in if I find something else. Roll 35, and nothing much new here, but I thought I'd bring you in because I did find this. It's a 1970, which is a low mint coin for Canada, or most Canadian denominations, actually. It is really in rough shape, scratched, beat up, and I will not bother keeping it. I've got a bunch already, but I thought I'd bring you in because it is interesting. There's only about just over 10 million of these that were minted, so something to be watching for. And I also got a couple other things in this roll. I got this East Caribbean 25-cent piece. It is also in pretty rough shape. Found those before, and a couple more US. I will go through. There's a couple state quarters in here that might have some of the errors on them, so I'll double check those at the end. And nothing really new in the upgrade. So, all right, on to the next. All right, well, we're on roll 42, and I was kind of starting to despair that we would find anything to fill our book, but we have one of the harder ones to find right here, which is the colored Cindy Klassen. A little circulated, not in the greatest shape, but really tough to find. 3 million minted. They don't show up very often, and it's really nice to get them, so I'm happy to have found that. I'll stick that up here with the rest of the finds, but it will be a book filler, as we have a hole that we need to fill right there. Last roll, and I just put all the coins away, but I did find this one in there. It is a Northwest Territories from the 1992 Province series. It's in pretty decent shape. It does upgrade the one in my book, so, or in this particular collection anyway, so I will set it up here. I'm going to go through all these. I didn't actually check to see if they were better than the ones. They just were in really nice shape, so I'm going to check them against all of the stuff in here, and I'll bring you back in. I'll let you know what we replaced. All right, well, I haven't finished things yet. I'm just kind of reorganizing, and I went to pack up the last roll, and as I went to grab it, it flipped over on me like this, and I missed this one. And this is actually one that we need. It is a green bison. It was just sitting in the middle of this roll here, and as you can see, I was just loading this up. I had one roll left. I was just going to fill up the last roll, and yeah, we found a green bison. So you know what? We got two. That's cool. Anyway, I'll bring you back in when I'm done. All right, time for the final recap here. So we had some interesting finds here. So let's start off with the actual finds that are going to fill the book. So we found two, including that green wood bison right at the end there, which I almost threw back in a roll. And you know, the funny thing is I actually found one of these in the last box as well, and I threw it back in the box, and then as I was going through the box, I noticed it. Basically same thing as just happened now, and I thought, I didn't show it on video, and then I realized when I went through, it actually did show up on video, but so I just cut it out. Thought, well, I'm not going to count it because you guys didn't see it. It was after I had edited everything, and then I almost did it again with the exact same coin. Go figure. So anyway, we'd found a green bison twice now, actually, but this one we're going to count. And it is going right there. We also got the Cindy Klassen. So this one is a lot tougher to find, and so I'm very happy to have found that. So really only a few tough ones left. That women's hockey, and sorry, get my camera to try and do this one-handed here. The women's hockey, colored, and the Canadian flag, which, they're not super, super rare, so we should be able to find them. And then the silver, of course, and a couple 1992. So we're getting close. We're going to got 6 more to go. So what is that, 86 that we found so far, with 6 left, and just those 4 on that page, and then the 2 on this page. So that's pretty good. As far as replacements go, we replaced a lot of them. We actually replaced 21. So we replaced this one. So I've got a second one there, and that will throw in my collection. Got a couple New Brunswicks here. Again, they're supposed to be hard to find, but I've run across lots of these. So I don't really know if they're really that much lower mintage as some of the websites say. And then we got a decent, actually, I replaced this one as well. So 22 we replaced. And that was decent enough that I'll keep that one as well. And these are all going to just go back into the box or into the roll. But we actually found 20 replacements for these. So found a much nicer 2008, nicer Laura Secord frosted, just the plain bison we replaced. One of the variants for the whale, the uncolored version, we replaced that one. Of the 2017, this is I think Alberta, no, Saskatchewan. We replaced that one as well. Lighting's not the greatest here. Let's just move this light around a little bit. We did replace the 1973 mounted police one with a much nicer one as well. It is up here, you can see, so much better condition. There are of course the small bus versions. I've checked them for all those. Men's hockey, we've got nicer men's hockey we put in there, and then some of the 99s, some of the Olympic ones. You can see that I pulled out here a bunch of Olympics, some of the 2000s, and Northwest Territories. We found a nicer one of that to put in there, a couple more 99s. So 22 all total that we replaced and improved, and 2 new ones in the stack, or in the book there. So the other thing, so these 4 I'll be keeping. Found the 2 both in pretty bad shape, or East Caribbean 25-cent pieces. I did pull out a couple 2020s. There's some talk that they are a little more rare than previous years. I don't know if they're going to be that much more rare. I probably could have made 2 rolls of them out of the number of 2020s I found in this box alone, and I just kept 3 of the really nicest. We found $6.50 worth of US. That's 6 1/4. And over here on the microscope, we have a 2015 Homestead. Now it has an error, the snow on the roof error, and this is not. So when you look on the internet, let me just bring that over actually. I know we're kind of getting away from the book filler, but this is something to talk about here. So you can see here, that is what they're suggesting the snow on the roof should look like. And mine is not nearly as pronounced as that. But what I did notice, and you can kind of see it there, is that is where that snow on the roof is supposed to be. And you can see just the start of it. So I don't know if that's the die clash or whatever that is that's causing that maybe worn down. You can see a little bit sitting there, and then you can see the shape of it in very, very faintly. But what is also really interesting is that you can actually see it all down here as well. Like there's quite a bit of snow on the roof on this one actually. It's just quite faint. So I'm going to hang on to this one anyway. I don't know if it'll be a recognized variant or not, but definitely it is something that, it's a little different, and I haven't found too many of them to compare, but there definitely appears to be something going on with that one. So this one also has the leaky bucket error or die clash. This one does not have that, but that is another one to be watching for on this particular coin. So anyway, so we got a few finds, and we are getting close. So 6 more to go. We will move on. I'll bring you in for the next hunt next week. So that's box 3. Please remember to go back and take a look at some of the earlier videos, and like and subscribe this if you're enjoying this. Hit the notification button if you want to get notified for the next box, and do go over and check out Emmanuel's workbench and his YouTube channel, and you can follow along and see how he's doing on his. He was catching up to me on the last hunt, so we'll see what he does on this one. All right, everybody, you all have a great day and take care.